amazing rabbi, amazing way to say the Rebbe, has inspired many, many people.
Okay, you're hired. Okay, fantastic. All right, so it's a pleasure to be here. So I just to tell you for a second about myself, where I'm coming from. So I teach in the mornings in Catholic Yeshiva High School, which is how I know some of the amazing Chevra over here. And in the afternoons and nights, I'm at Yeshiva of South Florida. So I'll talk about Yeshiva in a second, but that's why I'm here. So I'm from Florida, and on my side, I have to visit Hashem. So I had to just see, it's mixed feelings, I'll tell you the honest truth, because I've been in Eretz Yisrael for 2 days already, because I was running around different yeshivas, and I haven't gotten to the Old City yet. And this is the first time I got to the Old City this trip, and it's mixed feelings. It's mixed feelings, it's very mixed feelings. I'm going to try not to cry, I'll tell you the truth. Very mixed feelings. On the one hand, I was and still I'm extremely excited to be next to the Shefa, the Kedusha of the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Again, the Shefa Kadosh Baruch Hu is everywhere, but it's felt that much more when you're mamish moments away from Har Bayis, and the Kedusha is felt. You push to feel the Kedusha, and I was and am. I was soaked the whole trip. I wanted to come straight off the plane, go straight to the Old City, but it just didn't work out. And the whole trip, I've been every second trying to feel this Old City, but takes time, and just wasn't able to do it. And I've been waiting for this moment just to come back to the Old City. So the excitement is pashut, but also at the same time, there's a tremendous sorrow. And I don't know if everyone always feels this, because you guys live here for a year. You guys have the schus of living here for a year, for 2, for 5, and it's a schus, but also we don't want to become numb to the fact that it's also tragic. As I'm coming into the Old City, there's to the left, there's people who want to murder us, and as we're driving through, there's tumah, there's other non-fully monotheistic religions that are inundating the most Kaddish place in the world. And Kadosh Baruch Hu is reminding us that we're in Yerushalayim and we're in the Old City, but we're in Golus. And it hurts. That's very painful. Because it's one thing to be in Florida and feel you're in Golus, because it's Pasha, you're in Florida, you're in Golus. Then to come to the Old City and still feel like you're in Golus is very painful. So I'm my neshama is alive, that dying to go. I didn't daven Ma'ariv yet. I'm hoping to daven Ma'ariv at the Kotel in a bit. But it's also, my neshama is also in terrible pain just from seeing the Golus. We should remember, we have time in Eretz Yisrael. Time in Eretz Yisrael it's about Limud Torah, but it's about also connecting to Klal Yisrael, connecting to the fact that we're in Golus. If we forget Chas v'Shalom, we're in Golus, we're toast. Even in the Old City, which wasn't so. So we have to remember that. I'll tell you the way. I'm going to speak about this on Shabbos, if anyone's going to be with me on Shabbos, but just for a second, just because I'm margish. In a way, something I speak a lot of times in the high school, these comes up. In the yeshiva, the guys are more mature already, and the guys understand. But in the high school, sometimes it mamish pains me when I speak about Avos Yisrael. And I speak about that real Avos Yisrael, not lip service. Real Avos Yisrael, really caring, real Avos Yisrael. That means if you have enough money to live and comfortably and get by and you're okay, at that point, any more money you make, it's a schus to be able to give that money to Klal Yisrael. Let's say someone needs, I don't know, $150,000 a year to live. Whatever the person needs, and it's their house, and they have a family, they need $150,000 to live. And they make $250,000 after taxes. They have $100,000 to get to the Klal Yisrael here. $100,000 to get to Klal Yisrael. They're going to spend it on getting some fancy car. They're going to spend it on a fancy vacation. When you love Klal Yisrael, mamash, it's There's no better place for a dollar than someone else's pocket. Why am I margish this right now? Because I walk around and margish this all day. But the reason I'm margish this right now, I'm feeling this right now, because the Avos Yisrael, where does it stem from? Avos Yisrael stems from the fact that we're all, get this, we're all one neshama. We're all one massive neshama. This is how it says, the Reishis Chachma says like this. Reishis Chachma is a old semi-Kabbalistic sefer. Reishis Chachma it's called. And there's another sefer, the Ramak, Moshe Cordovero. I'm in the old city, so these things are coming out. But these are old, Moshe Cordovero, one of the great Poland. He talks about that the neshama of Klal Yisrael, my neshama, is just a chilek of a large neshama. Your neshama, and your neshama, and your neshama, and your neshama. We have a chilek, part. Our neshama is a part of a large neshama called Yisrael. We have a large neshama called Yisrael. When we're part of that, when we feel like we're part of that neshama, so then we love everyone else. Because like, it's pasha me. It's pasha me. Like, I don't understand how another yid could put down another yid. He's like it's like my right hand putting down my left hand. It's Hashay. It's b'chal Hashay. Doesn't mean every yid does. If my left hand is doing something ridiculous, so my right hand is gonna like, no, stop that. Why are you going next to the fight? Of course, you're gonna help it. You're gonna help the left hand. You're not gonna let it rot. You might try to raise it up, push it. You'll save it. You might even give it musar. But to put it down, it's ridiculous. You only margish these things. These are words, they're fancy words. We're all on the neshama. These are fancy words. The only time you're actually margish this, you really, really, really feel this way, not lip service, and there's a lot of lip service out there. Not lip service. The way you're margish that is if you see a world of neshama. If when I look at you, Rabbi, what's your name? Renan? That's a fantastic name. Where are you from? Maryland. When I see Renan from Maryland, I see, obviously I care about your goof. If Chas Shalom you need help, I'll help you. But I'm seeing a neshama pasha. I'm seeing a neshama. When you care about Klal Yisrael, you see everyone's neshama. So and they're like, wow, that neshama's mine. I feel drawn to that neshama. But you can only see neshamas. Lip service you can do whatever you want. It's easy lip service. But to really see someone else's neshama, you have to be holding by a world of neshama. You have to be. Again, I'm working on getting there. But you have to have kadosh eyes and see kedusha. You have to feel kedusha. There are people, again, I'm not chas v'shalom putting, but there are people who see the kosel, and you should have. I'm so drawn towards it. But at the same time, I'm holding back tears, and then people are standing there and taking a picture and happy. I don't know. I'll be happy because I have to but I don't know if I should frown, smile, cry. Because when you see a world of kedusha, when you see kedusha, so you see other neshamis, you see the kedusha, and you see the tumah. That's how you see the world. That comes through. If anyone's wondering, what are we doing by harving over gemaras? Harving is a little language. By amelus. What are we doing by learning so much Gemara and various other limudim? What are we doing? We're not just amassing information. That's what we're not doing. We're not just amassing information, we're also amassing information. We are seeing the world with more kadosh eyes. When you see a Gemara, what Gemara is the doing? Brachis, fine, what that? What parak? What? Shosh ha'achlu, fantastic. So when you're having a halamina about Birchas Hamazon, and then you have a maskana, and then there's a kasha and a teretz. It's like, wait, I don't get exactly the kasha. What exactly is the kasha? I don't say, wait, what's the source for that? I'm not copying the source. How does that source teach this din? The Gemara says a din, and then there's a source, and I'm nowhere in the world. How does the Gemara get that source from that din? I have no clue. When you're harving over Gemara and getting involved in a Gemara, and this matters so much, and you're screaming at your chavrusa. You have to scream at your chavrusa. When you're screaming at your chavrusa, Gavaldik, when you're screaming at your chavrusa, and you're not screaming at him, you're screaming with him, I don't understand the pshat, I don't understand what you're talking about. How in the world does this pasuk teach that din? I just don't see it. someone from the outside was like looking like, what's he screaming about? Yo, chill out. Chill out. Maybe you don't see it. There's a world of neshama. There's a world of neshama. Yo, buddy, it's just a paper. You're in a world of go. I'm sorry, what's your mother's name? Like, there's a world of neshama, and it doesn't happen right away. It doesn't happen right away. It takes time. But when we have that, when we start to get that, we're in a world of neshama. And this matters, and emes matters. In the world today, truth, it's like a dirty word. It's not even a dirty word. It's not used. It's b'chal not used. It's a crazy world. I'm going to say something political, because why not? It's a crazy world out there. Now I'm on camera. I'm not going to take it. That's fine. It's a crazy world out there. When was the last time you had a Republican and a Democrat sit down together and say, oh, okay, let's figure out the emes. I'm not looking for votes. Let's just figure out what's emes. You say your side, I'll say my side. Give me your raya. What's your proof? Give me some data. I'll try to give you some data. We'll analyze my data. We'll analyze your data. Okay, we'll say, oh, and we'll come out with what action. But I feel this way. I don't care what you feel. What is true? Give me data. Give me a proof. Give me a raya. What are you, Jewish? Yes. That's what we do all day. We're rayas and tarets and you're not saying that well. What do you say? I don't hear you saying. You're saying a lot of words. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, yes, I'll say it again. Let me think about it. Oh, think. Wow, that's amazing. Meaning it's a world of truth. That's what we're looking for. This doesn't exist today. Republicans and Democrats aren't like talking to each other like that. They're just screaming at each other. Or whatever I feel. I identify this way. I think this way. I don't know what you identify. What are you? What did your DNA say? Like the whole thing. Truth. That's what we're looking for in the Torah. Torah's emes. The Torah's emes. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Chosoma of HaKadosh Baruch Hu is emes. Truth. And when you see a world of truth, but like really, not lip service truth. This takes years. It takes years, because at the beginning you start and you're like, yo, that's OD, man. Like, yo, okay, stop, chill out, it's not a big deal. And then like a few months later, you're like, okay, I'm hearing it. A few months later, you're like, and like a couple years later, you're screaming yourself. But it takes time. It takes time. But then you get to a point where your eyes have eyes of truth, and that is Kedusha. That is Kedusha, because Kadosh Baruch Hu is truth. Hashem Elokim Emes. Hashem is truth. And then you have eyes of Kedusha. When you have eyes of Kedusha, you're going to love Klal Yisrael. When you have eyes of Kedusha, you're going to love Klal Yisrael, because I should see, look at Norman's neshama. Can anyone see look at Norman's neshama? Like, it's such a, look at the neshama. It's a beautiful neshama. Like, you start just seeing neshamas. That's not what I want to talk about. That's just what I'm being margish right now. So in the old city, and the Kedusha of the old city, and around Yidden, and that's what I'm margish. Okay, now I'm going to talk about what I'm talking about. But before I go talk, I'm just going to give a bracha on that. The chavra has to be harving and learning. Harving and learning. Just a melis. The more a melis of looking for truth. Looking for truth. Truth in Gemara, truth in everything else we're doing, in whether it's in Machshava, whether it's in Chumash. I feel the pasuk says like this. I don't know. What do you feel? What does the Ramban say? I want my pshat. I want your pshat. We first figure out what Rashi said. I don't know what Rashi. But what Rashi has? Why was he saying this? I don't know. Well, let's first figure that out. The Ramban has a kasha on Rashi. Let's figure out why. What is we died. My grandparents lost. Their numerous siblings were murdered by the Nazis in Mach Shemon. Numerous. My grandfather, he and one brother made it. Of 13 people in his family, none of them made it besides 2. My grandfather and one brother. They died for this Torah, for that Rashi, for that Ramban. This has to mean something. Then after that, I also want my own shot. That's Gabaldik. I want everyone to also put themselves in it as part of Klal Yisrael. That's my bracha. The Chavra should continue to search emes and get to the point where we have kaddish eyes and mamish love Klal Yisrael. Amen. Okay, now I'll say what I wanted to say. So Lamaisa is a very interesting kasha. It's a very interesting kasha that I there's a person named Rav Simcha Zissel Brody. He was a late Rosh Yeshiva of Simcha Zissel? Nah. Of the Chevron Yeshiva. The Chevron Yeshiva, called the Chevron Yeshiva because it started in Chevron, but then there was a massacre in 29, by Yimach Shemam, by the Arabs Yimach Shemam, and then so they had to leave they had to leave. What do you call it? Chevron, because they were murdered. So the few that made it out had to leave the Chevron, and they moved, and they're on the top of a mountain over here, Givat Shol. What's it called? Where's Chevron Yeshiva? It's on the top of a mountain. In Chevron, look, it's called Chevron Yeshiva. Okay, so the Rosh Yeshiva, I feel like it's not going to give a show maybe. It's the very top of a mountain. It's a beautiful basement. Chevron should look at it. It's called Chevron Yeshiva. Ask your band where it is, and go and on a Friday one day. Go. So the Chevron Yeshiva, the Rosh Yeshiva of Simcha Zissel Brody, he wrote a sefer called Sam Derech. Sam Derech, he has on Shas, he has on Chumash. This is on Chumash. I have this. Perek. It's Sam Derech and Chumash, Perek Yud, Pasuk Chaf Aleph. He asked the following kasha. Fantastic kasha. But I first have to explain something. Shem Ve'ever. So growing up, I always knew about this thing called Yeshivas Shem Ve'ever. We'll discuss that in a minute. But nowhere in Chazal, as far as I know, but someone finds it, nowhere in Chazal, maybe in some later people, nowhere in Chazal, and I don't even think in Rishonim, but nowhere in Chazal does it say Yeshivas Shem Ve'ever. It's called the Beis Medrash of Shem Ve'ever. And we'll explain why that matters in a minute. But in this Beis Medrash of Shem Ve'ever, Avram Avinu learned for many years. There's a medrash called Sefer HaYashar. Sefer HaYashar, it's an old medrash, and in the end of Parshas Noach, it discusses all the things we know about Avram, like all the amazing stories. And over there it says that Avram Avinu went to the Beis Medrash of Shem Ve'ever after he realized Hashem. He went there for, I don't remember, I think 40 years. It might have been 39 or it was 48. It was around there. Okay, so the Hebrew here is like Shana Aleph or Shana Bet. Let's go to Shana Mem. You know, that's a lot of years. That's a lot of Torah that he learned. And there's other times that he comes up in Chazal that Avram learned from Shem Ve'ever. That's a ton of Torah learned from Shem. Yitzchak Avinu also. There's Chazal, you can look in Sam Derech to find the Ma'amar Komos. That Yitzchak Avinu also learned from Shem Ve'ever. Yaakov Avinu learned also in this week's parsha. 14 years, the Chazal, right at the beginning, Rashi quotes Chazal. 14 years when he's leaving the house of his parents, learns from Shem Ve'ever. And other times, it's clear in Chazal numerous times that Yaakov Avinu learned from Shem Ve'ever. But these aren't like a little bit, like, okay, I learned something from, every person I meet, I learned something. No. These are tens of years, decades with Shem Ve'ever. If you learned for so many years, if all of our others learned so much by Shem Ve'ever, why is Shem Ve'ever not considered like part of our Masorah? Why don't we say that we started with Shem Ve'ever, who gave it to Avram, to Yitzchak, why the Elokei Shem Ve'ever, Avram, these are huge people. Our ancestors, Avram got it from Shem Ve'ever. So let's give some credit. No. It's a pellet. Says Rav Simcha Zissel Brody to answer the question, because there's a massive difference between what Shem Ve'ever gave over to what Avram gave to Yitzchak, Yitzchak gave to Yaakov, Yaakov gave to his sons, and his sons gave to us for all of generations. Shem Ve'ever didn't have a yeshiva, they had a Beis Medrash. Only Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov, and all the Jews after that had a yeshiva. Now what in the world is the difference between a yeshiva and a Beis Medrash? Says Rav Simcha Zissel in the same place. It's in Bereshis, Perek Yud, Pasuk Chaf Aleph. Listen to this. A Beis Medrash, hu makom shelomdim bo Torah. You learn Torah in a Beis Medrash, fantastic. There's no greater mitzvah, learning Torah, fantastic. But la'achar halimud, after you learn Torah, kol echad holech l'beis, you go home. Meaning, you have a home, and you learn a Beis Medrash, fantastic. You're kovea eatim l'Torah. That is amazing. Halavai that every year in the world is kovea eatim l'Torah. It's fantastic. But it's not a Beis Medrash. It's not a yeshiva. Ulam ma'alosav yichuda shel yeshiva, but a yeshiva isn't just a Beis Medrash. Shehi makom asher sham lo rak lomdim Torah. You don't just amass knowledge. You're not amassing knowledge in a yeshiva. You're mischanich. You're setting yourself up for all of life. V'zeu bayis. It's your home. L'lomdei Torah. Sheyomkim, you're nursing from a yeshiva. Mimenu chinuch shorashi hamakif es kol tchumei ha'isnagus b'chaim al pi haTorah. All ways of life, how you daven, how you have midos, how you think, how your outlook on life, what's important to you, your relationships, every aspect of life is nursed from a yeshiva. It's a completely different way of looking at the world. Completely different. It's a olam hanitzchi. When I want to get on when I'm in the high school again, I have like two personalities. I'm in the yeshiva, again, Yeshiva of South Florida, that's where I'm coming from. We'll discuss that in a minute. That's like guys after Orayta, after all the yeshivas in Eretz Yisrael, they want to come back to America and they continue on to learn while they're doing college. Those are more mature level guys, and it's a different conversation. But when I teach in the high school, so I'm trying to rile up the chevra. So when I want to rile someone up, I'll say something like, just to get them in order to fight back, and then it's geschmack. So I tell them the following. I say, it's emes. I try to say emes, I say it in a certain way, just to get them annoyed. And now you know my tricks, you know? And I say the following, it's emes. I say, look, again, a bacher who's like, you know, he's in the middle of, he's mid-process, let's say. So I say, look, the difference between me and you is very simple. I want to live forever, you want to live for like 80, 90 years, whatever. So what are you talking about? Yeah, that's what it is. Because I am trying, I'm working on myself. I am working on my neshama, that my neshama is nitzchi, forever. You can't imagine what forever is. That's a lot of time. It's actually forever. Meaning, my neshama will never die. My neshama will forever live. I will forever live. And if you define yourself by your neshama, meaning if that's what you feel most, if like what you had for dinner is not nearly as important as whatever kedusha that you're eating, if you define yourself by the kedusha that you eat rather than the hamburger that you eat, then you're living forever because that's how you see yourself. However, someone defines himself by a hamburger, or by clothing, or by cars, or by money, or by vacations, then they're going to die. They're going to die. 80, 90, whatever, 100, 120, they'll die. A yeshiva is a makom, is a place of nitzchias. What matters in yeshiva is the neshama. It's a whole different way of looking at the world. That's why, like, the outlook we have in yeshiva, like, if someone's really, they're like, again, outside, I'm outside in the windows, like, looking in, and these guys are like, I'm like, what are you doing? It's so weird. And we're like, what are you doing? It's a complete different world. One is an olam hanitzchi, the other one is an olam hagashmi, completely different worlds. A beis medrash is a place where you go to Mass Torah, and it's fantastic. Chas v'shalom doesn't put that down in any way. It's amazing. But it's not a yeshiva. A yeshiva is a different world where everything about a yeshiva. There are many rayas for this. I'm going to quote a few. Then we're going to... Chazal says this explicitly. It's a Chazal in Yoma Daf Chav Chesam Beis. And it says, Am Rabbi Chama, Rabbi Chanina, Miyameyan Shal Abuseinu, our Avis, Lo Parsha Yeshiva Meyan. They never left yeshiva their whole life. That's what it says. Our Avis never left yeshiva. Wherever they went, they didn't just create a beis medrash, they created a yeshiva. The Rambam, the Or Sameach on the following Rambam, it's in Hilchos Avodah Zarah, Perek Aleph, Halacha Gimel, says that Gemara is the source for this following Rambam. The Rambam says that Avram Avinu, after he discovered Hashem, etc., etc., so he first spread to everybody, and then he wanted to give it to his child. And what did he do? Hodiel Yitzchak Beno, he gave the Torah to Yitzchak. V'yoshav Yitzchak. He sat, he dwelled. Yoshav. He didn't just learn, Yoshav. He dwelled. Yitzchak Malamed Umazir, and he gave it over. The Yitzchak Hodiel Yaakov, and Yitzchak gave it to Yaakov. But that wasn't enough. This was to give it to Yaakov. Umineu Lilamed, and he appointed him Lilamed to teach V'yoshav, and he dwelled with the Torah. Then he continues. That wasn't enough. Yaakov Avinu Limed Banav Kulam V'hivdil Levi, he appointed Levi Umineu Rosh as the head Iver. And Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, and Klal Yisrael, and I'm not chas v'shalom pulling down Shem Ve'ever. We have so much akaras hatov to Shem Ve'ever for giving us so much Torah. But one thing they never did, they never created a yeshiva. They created a beis medrash. They were still in this world. They didn't see the whole world as completely different. They amassed a lot of Torah. You can sit in yeshiva and learn a ton of Torah. But if you don't soak up the yeshiva, a whole different outlook, an entire different way of looking at things, then it's great. You did a fantastic mitzvah of Talmud Torah. You learned a lot of Torah. You weren't in yeshiva. And if you leave yeshiva and continue learning these measures, amassing a lot of Torah, it's beautiful. But you're not a yeshiva. Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov never left yeshiva, said Chazal. Shem Ever taught a ton of Torah. And because of that, Chazal continues. The Tanchuma. Everything is based, right? I'm going to make something up, just pull it out of my boich. No. We're going to base it. We're going to bring a source for everything, right? You're going to say something. What's eat for breakfast? I don't know, whatever I think. No. You're going to source everything. Says the Chazal in the Tanchuma. There's a medrash. In Parshas Noach Os Gimel, HaKadosh Baruch Hu calls bris im Yisrael shelo tishkach Torah. That you should not forget the Torah. Hashem said, gave us a promise that we're not going to forget the Torah. How? How are we not forget the Torah? How are we going to do that? Lefichach, therefore, he says, ad sof kol hadoros, all generations, we're not going to forget. We'll always be for remember. And there's a ton of people in the world who tried to kill us, tried to kill the Torah, and it didn't work. Baruch Hashem, here we are, steps away from the most Kaddish place in the world. How's Shaykh? So what did Hashem do? Lefichach, says the Medrash, therefore, how did Hashem make sure that we're never going to forget the Torah? Kava HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem established Shtei Yeshivos, 2 yeshivas. I'm not sure which yeshiva. Yeshivat Orayta, Yeshiva of South Florida. But there's 2 yeshivos. It wasn't enough. He didn't say Bati Medrash. No. A yeshiva. Because the way for this to be passed down generation to generation to generation to generation is through a yeshiva, because it's a different world. It's a completely different world. Our outlook is different than their outlook. Now, we borrow a ton. If they have like a cure for cancer, Bezos Hashem, 100%, we're in. And we're going to help them out too. Of course, if you can cure cancer, Gavaldik, we'll share it with them. Gavaldik, we're definitely going to work with the whole world. But we're in another world. We're just working with them. Fantastic. And we're going to be nice to them. They're nice to us, hopefully. But we're a different world. That's a yeshiva. It takes one more thing. It's not enough to have yeshiva. Says Chazal, we need to be bnei yeshiva. What do you mean? You need ben yeshiva. What does that mean? So I'll tell you. A wild Chazal. There's another medrash, Pirkei Rabbi Elazar. Pirkei Rabbi Elazar, Perek Chav Tes. It says, read it. Kol avadim shenimolu im Avram Avinu. All the avadim, all the people that were gemalt, that got a milah with Avram. Avram was the best Makarev in all, even better than, I don't know, so close to H, but he was better than H in Makarev people. Avraham Avinu. He was Makarev Gerim. We know that from Chazal all over. Gavaldik. All of the people that he was Makarev, says Chazal, Shenimolim Avram Avinu, Lo Niskaimu, they did not remain. Lohem v'lo zarim b'Yisrael. Zilch. Not one of them remained as Klal Yisrael. Think about it. There's Avram, there's Yitzchak, there's Yaakov, and there's sons, and then there's Vayter. What happened to all the Gerim? Where'd they go? Zilch. Not even one. But that is a Pella Otzel. Because Avram created Yeshiva. And he was Avram Avinu. He's the best Maggid Shir in the history of the planet. How in the world did not one of them remain? Because there's one more ingredient. For Kiyum Torah through Yeshiva, you need B'nai Yeshiva. You need someone who's willing to soak this up. Someone to be all in. If they're not, Avram Avinu's Talmidim, they clearly wanted. They joined. But, you know how it is. And then, when they left Yeshiva, that's what they say. I don't like these words. Like a dirty words. I'm just going to use the word anyway. They flip back. you know? They got inspired and then they lost their inspiration. Ever heard this? I never heard it. It's Chazal. They never became full B'nai Yeshiva. So therefore, they all went off. Pashut. You need Yeshiva, you need B'nai Yeshiva. Now, in all honesty, that's why we created our Yeshiva, Yeshiva of South Florida. Yeshiva of South Florida is a place where the Chevra goes, all the yeshivas. Again, the last couple of days I've been all over, and I'm up until 1 o'clock this morning. I got a few more places, and we're getting from all over all the yeshivas, Eish and Nativ and Hakotel Bez Hashem and Shalavim and else KBY and all those different Zachen. I forgot some, Reshit and Shaga, and I'm sure I forgot more. And all the different places where guys, after they get inspired in yeshiva, we've seen too many times. The guys get inspired, and then things peter out. They just peter out. I don't know. It just goes. It's like they get inspired, and it doesn't mean, people misunderstand that. They say, oh, he was fake the whole time. That is utter sheker. It's not true. I don't hold of it. They were not fake. They were truly inspired. But they're still raw. They're just raw. It takes more time. It just takes more time. It's not fair. If the Avos HaKadoshim needed to never leave yeshiva, the Avos, Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov, you're not going to beat that. If the Avos HaKadoshim are never going to be able to leave yeshiva, they always have to be in yeshiva. We'll define that what that means in 1 minute. The Kal V'chomer, like us, we've been baking in this world for 17, 18 years. And like, oh yeah, 1 year, we're going to, no, it's not fake. It's just, we're not fully, it just takes time. It just takes time, a lot of it. So because of that, we created yeshiva. Not just a base managers, we created yeshiva. Yeshiva by us, people continue in college. There's different online colleges they do. There's some local colleges in Florida that they could do. There's numerous college options, but we want people to remain in yeshiva. So we created yeshiva. The yeshiva, it's a yeshiva, it's an Eretz Yisrael type yeshiva. Can't be like Eretz Yisrael, we're not in Israel, but it's Eretz Yisrael type yeshiva. There's camaraderie, the Rosh Yeshiva is amazing, Rabbi Willig, amazing. I'm there, I try to get very close to the Chevra. There's a close relationship with Rebbeim, there's close relationship amongst the guys. We have again, we can't have Tiyulin to Tzfas, we don't have Tzfas in America. But we have as a yeshiva, we went to Orlando as a Shabbaton, we went to like a barbecue and so on. As a yeshiva, we want the Chevra to be remaining in yeshiva. And again, Baruch Hashem, the learning is serious. The guys continue on in college, and the guys, Baruch Hashem, this is our 4th year, and the guys are steiging, both in their learning, and they continue on. Also, they're getting jobs, they're getting married, they're moving on in life in a healthy way while they're always connected to yeshiva. I'm going to say one more word, and then I'm going to sit down. Probably not sit down, probably going to get hacked by different buffers and stand up. But the question is like, what that means practically. Because it's nice to say they're always in yeshiva, but this is not normal, right? Meaning, like, Be'ezras Hashem, everyone's going to find the Gavaldik Asarla one day. We're going to find our Eishes Chayil. And then if you bring that, like, Eishes Chayil to, like, married and, like, live in the dorms, Eishes Chayil, it's a little weird. It's a little weird, you know? Like, that room is a married couple. Awkward. You know, that's not going to happen, right? So what does it mean you're always in yeshiva? I say you're going to get married, you have children, like one room is like a baby crying, like it's alright, what's going on, right? That's weird, that's awkward. So we can't always live in yeshiva. What does that mean? I'll tell you what that means. You can have many examples of this. I'm giving you one, but there's Baruch Hashem, there's many examples of this. I have a brother-in-law. He's a normal person, Pasha, a normal guy, and he's a dentist, actually he's an endodontist. It's a fancy dentist, it's for root canals. And he lives in Los Angeles, normal guy. He goes to work in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, comes back, 6 o'clock at night, normal guy, and he is a fine living, fine house, normal guy. And you walk into his home, and you're like, wow, this guy's Pasha in yeshiva. His home has pictures of Gedolim all over the walls. His svarim are they're everywhere. There's svarim all over. He has Knaina Hara, 8 beautiful children. Bnos Torah, Bnei Torah, 8 beautiful children. And they're all besimcha, mamish, happy. And all keep the Torah beautifully. They're all in the rabbi's classes. He's a dentist. But the children are in the rabbi's class because he's in yeshiva. his son is like literally the chavrusa with the Rosh Kol's son. Hello. He's a dentist. What's he doing with Rosh Kol's son? He's in yeshiva. His shul is the kollel. There's a kollel down the block, 2 blocks away. That's his shul. He davens there in the morning. He learns there in the morning a little bit, and he goes to work. He comes back, goes from Mincha Meir to the kollel. He stays there to learn. Shabbos, that's his shul. He hocks with the guys in the kollel. That's his world. He's a dentist, but his world is yeshiva. That's not just a base medrash, not just kovei eats in the Torah, going there. Again, that's beautiful, not chas shalom putting down some kovei eats in the Torah. But this is his home. It's a bias. This is his world. What I'm trying to say is that yeshiva is not just a year or two. It's not a gap year. It's a gap year. We have to destroy that. Could the Chaver hashtag no gap? Well, I guess if you're like no gap year, then no one's going to go to Israel. But you get the point. We can't go to gap year. This is Kehem Chayenu V'Orech Yameinu. This is life. I mean, if you want an Olam Nitzchi, if you want an Olam Neshama, if you want to love Klal Yisrael, if you want to fall in love with Kedusha and love Mamish, Klal Yisrael, if you want to love Kedusha, the Olam Nitzchi, Maisa, that's what yeshiva is. That's what we created, Baruch Hashem, in Florida. That's what all these Gavaldic yeshivas in Israel created. And I'm trying to give you a Pesach, an opening, that this is not just a gap year, Chas v'Shalom. There's a life. Yes, we have to then have an education, and then we have to get a job, and married, and a family, and it's Pasha. And there's no shaykhis. That's not a stira, it's not a contradiction at all in any way. Not even a contradiction, it's just a hemshech, it's a continuation of just the yeshiva getting bigger. When I was in yeshiva, I was in Kerem B'Yavneh. Then, a few years later, the yeshiva turned into me and my wife. We were both in this new yeshiva called our home, where we were mamish connected to yeshiva. Mamish, not just connected like a few, no. We were there. And then our yeshiva got bigger and bigger. And now, Baruch Hashem, after years of living with my wife, okay, Baruch Hashem, so yeshiva got 9 new students. Okay, so our children are part of yeshiva. Baruch Hashem. Life isn't a steer to yeshiva. Life is just adding to yeshiva as long as we always remain lo parshu yeshiva mehem. That just like the office, we never leave yeshiva. We have to set ourselves up for that. Whether you come, everyone's invited to Yeshiva of South Florida. Please, you can come to me afterwards. Rabbi Shabtai is in the back to discuss what the yeshiva is. So either one of us, you can please discuss. There's brochures, whatever. I would love for you to come to yeshiva by us. Again, right now you're in yeshiva here, and you continue. I should have bed here, I should have gimel. I'm saying after you're already leaving. Please don't leave, just really steig. But at one point, when it's time for the next thing, for getting a college or whatever it is, I advise coming over. I'm happy to talk. And if not, you don't want to. This doesn't work out, or it makes no sense for you, or whatever it is. Wherever you go to your yeshiva. Wherever it is, wherever college you happen to go to, whatever that is, it has to become a yeshiva. Someone asked me, and I'll finish with this, someone asked me, so what do you do though, if where I'm going, it doesn't have a yeshiva? It doesn't have a kollel to make myself part of. So I said, either 2 possibilities. Either you have a ton of money and you create one, or you don't go there. I don't know, it said little partial yeshiva may have. It doesn't say, what is the argument for you to do? It just said he either created one or he didn't go. That's just, I have a Talmud, I really just have to be done. But even it is very, 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 very hard to do. However, it's doable. I have a Talmud there's 2 different secular colleges I'm talking about right now. And I pleaded with them, in Baruch Hashem. One of them fully does it, one of them is in the middle of doing it. I said, one of them has a yeshiva literally 40 minutes from the college. And one of them has a very good kollel community, also half an hour from the college. And I said, I know that the college is going to tell you have to live on campus. I'll pay the dorm. I'll pay for the dorm. Live in the yeshiva. Be part of the yeshiva. Or live next to that kollel, you and your roommate, and get an apartment next to the kollel. And be part of the kollel community. And drive into college. My brother-in-law, does he live in his office? No, he lives in a kadosh area and he drives into work. That's pashut how we go. We live in yeshiva and we drive I have two Talmidim who took me up on this, and they're thriving. They're in two secular colleges and thriving. They're in a yeshiva, one's next to a kollel, one's next to in a yeshiva, literally in a yeshiva, and he goes to college. And let's say the college I want to go to doesn't have that. Apply somewhere else. I don't know. I'm not sure what to tell you. Apply somewhere else. I'm just being honest. Anyway, my bracha to the chevra, again, please, you can come over to me and write Shabtai about Yeshiva of South Florida, but my bracha to the chevra is wherever you go. That we can say about you, the little Parshi Yeshiva Mimenu. They never left Yeshiva. Be'ez Hashem, if you want your children to not just get something, learn, amass a lot of stuff, and then pitter out, chas v'shalom, but you want them to be like Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, like Yoshev. We have to create Yeshiva for ourselves. Be'ez Hashem, my bracha is that everyone does that, and we thrive, our children thrive. Ad bias go outside. We'll hear from me.